Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be talking about a subclass of the rogue, straight out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the Phantom Rogue. A lot of rogue subclasses give you different ways of using your roguish features. Your sneak attack, your expertise, lots of your stealthy and other abilities that rogues are famous for. A lot of subclasses double down on this. The Phantom Rogue takes us in a completely different direction and gives us, well, their theme mostly comes down to ghosts and necrotic energy. Let's go over the features and you'll see what I'm talking about. First of all, at level 3 when you choose the subclass, the Phantom Rogue gets Whispers of the Dead. After every rest, they get to choose a skill proficiency or tool proficiency that they lack, and they can gain it. This proficiency is themed as just the departed giving you this knowledge, but you can switch it out. So you're going to have your rogue staples, and obviously you're going to have expertise, but if you're missing some intelligence or some wisdom-based features, you can pick them up, and then when you don't need them anymore, you can get rid of them. Same with tool proficiencies. Every rogue has thieves' tools, but what if you need smith's tools or tinker's tools or something else? You can grab them, use them, and then you can drop them later. It's a really good feature. It's a single proficiency, but it's a customizable one. So in theory, it's every proficiency. I give it 9 out of 10. It's a great feature. The other thing you get is Wails from the Grave. Wails from the Grave is a sneak attack enhancer, but it's a special kind of one. When you deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can elect to use Wails from the Grave and target a second creature nearby. They then take half of the sneak attack damage as necrotic damage. So this is basically giving you a 50% damage boost with your sneak attack, but it has to be to a second target. You can do this a few times per long rest. And empowering sneak attack is what rogues love. The fact that now rogues go, because rogues don't get extra attack, rogues are not good at targeting multiple creatures. This fixes that problem. You focus on a target, now you get to have a second one take damage, which patches a massive hole in rogues' combat abilities. It's phenomenal. And I suppose if you were using a light weapon of some kind and you could dual wield, hit twice that way, this doesn't take a bonus action to do. It just happens when you hit your sneak attack. So you could, in theory, target 3 creatures if you wanted. All in all, this is a super powerful ability, plus it's necrotic damage, which is hard to resist. I give this 10 out of 10. It's unbelievably good. Now at level 9, you get the Tokens of the Departed. When a creature dies nearby, you can use your reaction to claim its soul. You can claim its soul in the form of a trinket, a soul trinket. You can keep a few of these on your person at any given time. And when you have these soul trinkets, they last indefinitely unless you make more than you need or more than you can carry, then the first one you made goes away. And you can use these soul trinkets to do a couple things. First of all, they give you uses of Wails from the Grave. So if you've used up your proficiency bonus times per day that you use your Wails from the Grave, you can shatter a soul trinket to do it again. So that's cool. This just basically makes it more creatures that you kill, the more times you can do this extra sneak attack damage, which is phenomenal. It also gives you advantage on Constitution and Death saving throws. As long as you have a soul trinket on you, you don't even have to do anything. You just have the advantage automatically, which is also great, making the rogues tankier and tougher. And finally, you can also shatter a soul trinket to get answers from the soul. You can shatter it and ask the departed a question, and they will answer to the best of their ability. They don't necessarily have to tell the truth, but as a DM, I would say that unless they had a particular reason to hate you, they probably wouldn't withhold it, and then their soul would depart. So it's a utility buff, it's a defensive buff with the death saves and the con saves, and it's an offensive buff because it empowers your whales from the grave. The only real confusion I have is why this is a 9th level feature. I feel like it would have made more sense to have the tokens from the departed be the 3rd level feature. So you could start collecting soul trinkets straight away, and then Whales from the Grave, the sneak attack bonus, comes in at 9th level. But either way, it's still a 10 out of 10 feature. It's perfect for the theme collecting souls. It's great. Now, at level 13, rogues get their next ability, which is called Ghost Walk. You can do this one time per day, or you can shatter a soul trinket to do it again, so another use for your soul trinket. What it does is it turns you into a semi-intangible form, a ghost form. Attacks against you have disadvantage. You have a flying speed and a hover. You can only go 10 feet of flying speed, but it's still flying speed. And you can even move through objects and creatures. So you can just go through walls and doors. If you end your turn inside of an object, you do take 1d10 force damage, which is pretty typical for these kind of powers. But, you know, if you're willing to tank the damage, you can hide in an object and people can't see you. The other cool thing about it is that it lasts for 10 minutes. It's a long feature. So you can use it in multiple combats, you can use it for exploration, and like I said, it's once per day, or you can shatter soul trinkets, which means that in reality, as long as you're killing creatures, you can use this infinitely, effectively. So it's great. It's another 10 out of 10 power, flying speed, intangibility, as in disadvantage against you, the ability to move through stuff. It's a lot of good features mixed into one power. And 13th level is an appropriate level to be getting this kind of power. You know, up until this point, even the spellcasters have had to use teleportation magic to get through stuff. Ethereal powers like this come online at roughly this level, so good stuff. The final feature is called Death's Friend, and you get two things from this. First of all, when you use Whales from the Grave to deal that extra necrotic damage that you've been doing since level 3, you will also deal that damage to the creature that you targeted with the sneak attack. So what this does is it says, hey, you know that 50% boost in damage you were getting from Whales from the Grave? Now you get it 100% damage boost. At maximum level, rogues can use 10d6 with their sneak attack, and then they're going to deal 5d6 to the other target, and 5 more d6 to the original target, for a total of 20. So it doubles your sneak attack potency, taking it up from the 50% boost. You also, if you finish a rest and you don't have any soul trinkets, one appears in your inventory as the spirits of the dead seek you out. This is actually really nice because if you are going on a several day situation without killing anyone, so you don't have the souls to claim, you just got one now. So now you've got your advantages on your con saves. Not, I guess if you're in combat, it's unlikely you'd be making those, but you have one on you at all times. So you've got multiple uses of your Ghost Walk if you need it for utility purposes. You got it twice instead of once, and you don't have to kill anyone for that. So it just makes everything you've done so far better. It makes the damage better, it makes the utility better. It's obviously if you're killing creatures, which most campaigns involve killing creatures on a pretty regular basis, so I don't think this is necessarily like supremely useful because you're probably going to have soul trinkets most of the time, but on those rare occasions that you don't, you will be able to get them, and you get to do some extra bonus damage to boot. 9 out of 10 for Death's Friend. And overall, the Phantom Rogue gets a 10 out of 10. You've got flight and intangibility. You've got moving through objects. You've got extra sneak attack damage, multiple target sneak attack damage. You've got advantage on death saves, advantage on con saves, and at the very beginning of this all, you still got a tool and skill proficiency that you can swap out that you've been doing the entire campaign. This is a fantastic rogue mechanically. All you have to do is lean into that whole Death's Friend, Death's Door, soul capturing mentality. You see a lot of that in video games, in the Elder Scrolls games. We've been killing creatures and trapping their souls in soul gems for a long time. But now you get to just make soul gems and you get powers from them. And that's super cool. Very thematic, very mechanically strong. 10 out of 10. 2 thumbs up from me. The Phantom Rogue is amazing. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.